So I recently followed a YouTube tutorial to make this purse. And honestly, I'm kind of obsessed with it and I want to talk about it. So this bag was originally made by Bag O Day Crochet. I was originally attracted to this purse because of the colors. Blue is my favorite color, and so that's why I wore blue. It's kind of the theme for today's video. And I made my bag obviously to look just like hers. She used a cake, and I just picked out my colors kind of close to match hers, and I think I came out pretty spot on, like directly looks like it. Some things are a little bit different, and I want to go over that and just how much I like the pattern and what I like did differently. In her tutorial, she doesn't go over the straps too much, so I do want to go into detail on how I made mine so that if you recreate this bag, you have kind of an extra idea on what to do when it comes to the strap part. I also lined my bag, and she didn't go over that at all, so I kind of want to go into that just a little bit and share with you some tips that I have for making your own bag. Let's get into it. So first I want to talk about just the quality of the tutorial. It was super easy to follow. There were a couple times where she kind of seemed unsure what she was about to do, but then she also mentioned that she kind of just makes up these purses at the top of her head. So obviously when you're making a pattern, there is no plan sometimes and you kind of just wing it. And so the end result is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know that I would call this beginner friendly just because she does use a stitch, I believe, that was called, it was like a treble crochet cluster. It was like a V cluster. And I had never done that before, even as an experienced crocheter. So I'm not sure that I would necessarily recommend this for a beginner unless they know what a treble crochet is and know how to do a cluster. So if you don't know how to do either one of those things, you might want to go practice those first before you attempt to make this purse. But she seemed very, very knowledgeable about what she was talking about. Everything was explained very well. It was recorded very well. You could see everything. Everything was very clear, and it was really easy to follow. As an experienced crocheter, I had no problem. There were a couple times I even sped it up, and then I realized I actually made my base a little bit bigger than hers, so I kind of adjusted my pattern to make up for that. But it seems like an awesome purse, and I want to show you guys. Let's get into it. Okay, so like I said, I accidentally made my base a little bit wider than hers. And so because of that, I had to actually make it a little bit more wider than I had intended because um, the end result of this had to be in multiples of three. And so I think I went up to like a little over 100. I forget exactly how much, like 102 or four or something. Um, but yeah, and it ended up working out fine. And I did find some of my own yarn that matched the colors. But I did do, I want to say, two more rows in the base. And I ended up doing at least two more rows of the purse exactly. And then I ended up using this sparkle yarn. I don't know if you can see the sparkle in the video, but it is very sparkle for the white. I thought that would give it a nice magical touch at the top. And I had ended up going to Michael's and spending probably about $50 worth of beads. But obviously, I didn't use them all on this purse. There are beads on either side where the straps are connected, and that is what's keeping them secure. And she kind of went over, she said that there was 12 strands. And so from that, I just kind of figured it out myself. What I did was I gathered 12 strands and I loosely tied it in to a knot on one end, and then I braided it all the way around. And then before I went in or tied a knot, I didn't even tie a knot on this side, as you can see. What I did is I separated it. So there were six on this side and six on this side. And then I went through right here on two different stitches. Six went through this side, six went through this side, and then I put the beads on. And then I tied a knot at the bottom. And I did that for each side. And on this side, like I said, I took out the loose knot where I started and then put the six through this side, six through this side, and then put the beads on and tied them. And so I'm pretty sure that's how she did it. I'm not exactly positive because she didn't really go over that, but it is absolutely secure. This thing is not going anywhere. So that is how I did it. If you make this purse, maybe that'll be easy for you to do. I think the beads are what set this entire purse off. Absolutely. Obviously, I'm not using the exact same beads that she used, but she used a lot of silver and I saw some blue. And it just set it off. And I do want to show you guys another purse that I made, just inspired by this purse, and the beads. I thought that that just absolutely adds so much quality to the purse. And so I kind of just randomized them as I went and just made sure there was, every single, all the same ones are in each one. And it's absolutely gorgeous. I was a little worried at first that the lining would be able to be seen through, but honestly, it's not an issue at all. And the lining is blue. So it's pretty good. And to go over the lining just a bit, I just got some cotton fabric from Walmart. And I thought this little bee one was adorable for the bag. I love it. I think the look is so cute. And I basically I had it folded on the floor. I put the purse down. I traced it with a Sharpie all the way around the edge, about this far off. And then while it was inside out, I sewed up the edges by hand. I have a sewing machine, but it's put up right now. I just moved. and and then I turned it back inside out, put it up here. I also, she didn't show this in her video, but I also decreased at the top just to make the top a little bit more cinched and not just so gappy, So it does kind of bow out. You can't really see the whole thing. I wonder. Oh, wrong way. No, I can't zoom out anymore. But yeah, it is kind of bowed, as you can see. So but it's really cute. And then what I did was I used a smaller darning needle and I used yarn and then I folded over the top and I sewed it into the purse right there. And I went into the stitch that matched that color. So you can kind of see right there. And so when I did that, it really just fit right into the stitches and you can't really tell which one is a stitch, which one's not. So it honestly, it's really seamless, and I think it looks great. I'm absolutely in love with this purse. I can't wait to add this to my inventory. I did start another one just like this, but I was running into some issues. So let me talk about that real quick. Okay, so the next purse I made had a lot of this yarn in it, and this is a pretty popular yarn right now. It just came out. I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but when the video comes out, when you're watching this, there should be a tag somewhere either down there or up here that has what this yarn is so that you guys can go check it out. It is pretty interesting. It has these little clusters on it. And I thought I loved it. I bought like one of each. I do have a short, I can't really tag it, but I do have a short where I was like, what am I supposed to make with this? So I finally decided to start making one of those bags. And so I made the base the exact same, although I kept it the length that it was supposed to be in the video. And as you can tell, it is a little bit smaller. Uh, but this yarn is a little complicated. So as you can tell, this is actually the inside, but I have been crocheting it inside out once I got to this part. And I'm actually just doing traditional double crochet V stitches on this. But none of the flakies were on this side. They were all on this side. And I was like, well, that's way cuter. Like that's all right there. Like that's what I want showing. What do you guys think? I honestly, now that I see it, I'm like, this actually looks okay. So maybe I should switch it back. I honestly don't know. I feel like this is like obviously the inside of it, and maybe it's too splotchy. Maybe that's how it's meant to be. It actually doesn't look too bad. Anyway, so this is what I'm working with right now, but I did run out of yarn. So I'm going to continue with a little bit of pink, and I might honestly end up frogging this whole thing and doing it the right way because this honestly doesn't look bad. I think it actually looks better now that I see the whole thing. So yeah, this is inspired from the other bag and we will see how this turns out. Oh, you want to see the fabric I have for this? It's super adorable. This is the fabric I have for this purse and I thought that that was perfect. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And this right here is a bag that I am currently working on, or I actually just finished this, my bad. It is just a single strap backpack and it is drawstring at the top. And I went and got more beads because I kind of got obsessed. So I ended up splitting the ends of these just because that's how I did the other one. And I think I had like eight or nine strings in total on each side, and it was just too much to go through all these beads. So but I love it. I'm in love with these beads. I think it just sets the entire bag off. And I did line this as well with some fabric that just complements it so well. But I did change how I did uh, sew it into the purse. And I actually got embroidery thread to do it this time. And I went and bought some smaller needles but still have the thicker eyes right there to get the embroidery thread through. You could even probably get yarn through these if you're really good at it. But it just made my life a lot easier. And using the embroidery thread, I just feel like it's so much more strong. And I am so happy to be adding these bags to my inventory now. So let me know what you guys think. Isn't that gorgeous? But as far as this bag goes, this bag is amazing, and I honestly can't wait to make more of them. I do recommend this bag for everybody, and especially with the lining, this thing is strong. Okay, I can put my phone, my wallet, like a notebook. And have you guys seen these magic wands that like you tap to pay with? Okay, side side quest. Okay, this thing is amazing. You just put your debit card right in there, and then you could tap to pay. I've had so much fun with this since I bought it. It was like the best $10 I ever spent. I have had to fix it because honestly, the second day after I bought it, the handle right here snapped, and it snapped on my daughter's too. So I had to use the same stuff that I used on my duck wall on this. So, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, my duck wall, I will tag the video. I glued 600 rubber ducks to my wall. But yeah, all that stuff. Oh, here, I forgot to add my wand. Can't go anywhere without that. I love this. I recommend it for everybody. It's gorgeous. I love it. It's gorgeous. It's in my favorite colors, and it just works up good. And I think I'm gonna be charging like at least $50 for this because, like I said, there's $20 worth of beads on this purse alone. It took me a couple days to make it, but I absolutely love it. I love it. I love it. I hope you guys go check it out. She is an amazing artist, crochet fiber artist person. I love her channel. So if you guys have not seen this on your For You page, I will definitely go and list the video down in the description box below because it's amazing and I think everybody should see it. And when you go there, tell her that I sent you because she doesn't know me. And I want to tell her how absolutely talented she is. And yeah, go check it out. It's amazing. It's beautiful. And it's just a great add to any inventory or even just your wardrobe. All right, I'll see you guys next time. And remember, above all else, Jesus loves you. Bye.